How you doing, guys? We're back. NRL Fantasy Analysis. My team, we're ranked 4, 5, 5, 9. So a slight improvement on the week. We ended up with a score of 1,041, I believe. So yeah, not a bad score for the round. 8,872 was our round 4 rank. And apart from Mr. Fogarty, it was a pretty good week. Like without if he gets 50, which you'd expect from him, then that's it's 1,084. So would have been a really nice week, but really happy with how everything's worked. And I feel like this team is going to be a hold this week. I feel like I can finally not make any trades, which was the plan. The goal was to get through this week and have the team set up so I don't have to trade for a few weeks and bank a few of those ready for the buy schedule. But looking at our squad now, we've got Turpin up top. Really happy with how he's performing. A couple of really high scores in a row, and it's making us money, which is awesome. Welch, we held him. Thankfully, he pulled through and got a 52 and got some about 10 extra minutes. So hopefully his game fitness, match fitness is improving week to week, and we should be able to see him getting somewhere between 55 and 60 minutes on a regular basis, which will be ideal, but we'll see how that goes. And he's definitely going to be a hold over the next few weeks. If I can get somewhere between 47 and 52, where he's at currently from Welch, then I think it's worth holding him rather than going to someone like Tohu, who I know I'm going to get a 60 out of each week, but cost that extra 250k and a trade. So I'm going to be happy with holding Welsh at this stage, but we'll still be scared watching him play. Really happy with those offloads, though. Keep him up. Christian Welch, we love you. Connor Watson, 55. Really happy with these scores. Up to 538k already. Awesome work. A starter, a gun in our mids right now. See how it happens this week with all their injuries if he maintains the 13 role, and hopefully he goes back to that so he can get back into his tackles. Crichton at 70. Really happy with his efforts. Still no try this week and got 70. So if anyone who's worried about him, having to score tries to score big, he does not. He's a beast. He runs for big meters, which means he's going to get tackle breaks. He's going to get offloads. He tackles hard as well, so there's a good chance of getting the turnover tackles in there also. Our edge, Ricky and Fafita. A lot of people are running this one, and I think it's a pretty safe option. Halves, we've got Cleary, Schuster. I also have Fogarty and Walker on the bench. So really set up for halves at the moment. And this could be really interesting as to if Fogarty plays this week. If it was a cork, if it was a strain, whatever it is, hopefully it doesn't hamper him too much and he can come back to normal play, normal kicking. It is his right leg, goal kicking, kick meters in general play as well. So hopefully he can get back to full health, but I can cover him in the halves in the meantime, sorry. So yeah, Cleary and Schuster, happy with that. Cleary as captain always. 1.04 million, how good is it? All right, our centers, we got Tommy Opacek and Joey Manu. So really happy with the two that I've got currently. Oppa scored a couple of tries but didn't have the run meters that he normally would, so hopefully that goes back to normal. He's around that 100 meters, can get the offload, can get the tackle break, but happy that he got a couple of tries, and they might look to target him a little bit more given the fact that he got those two great signs. They didn't go to Sivo as much. They cut Opacek out a little bit, but he's always up there running decoys or hitting the line hard. So if they pass him the ball a little bit more, there's a chance for a couple extra attacking stats. How sad was Joey Manu? I bring him in this week, and he, in like the 3rd minute of the game, drops the ball over the line, which I don't think I've ever seen him do. Of course, that happens this week, but really happy that he ended up with a 41 without doing too much. Just got 1 try assist and ran for a lot of meters. So happy that for Joey. Didn't end up moving into the 6 role, which is okay. You can see near the back end of the game, he likes to hang around the middle of the park, and I think that'll be really cool for him to pop up in those types of roles and get some attacking stats in around that. Does like to run sideways and palm people off as well. So happy with my centers currently. Obviously, Momorowski would be nice as well, but how long can he keep up the try scoring? That's the hope that he doesn't in this team anyway. And then our fullbacks. So we got Pap, Laurie, and Tuivasa-Sheck. So for Sheck, we're looking for him to have a bit of a bounce back game. But as I said, his low scores are in that 30s. He's not going to ruin you with a 15 or 20, which is great, right? So he's hanging around that same price that he started with and scoring at an average of high 40s, which is exactly what we would have wanted. Hopefully he can come up against some easier teams rather than the Roosters and pick up some bigger scores in between. So we're okay with that. We got through the week with Fogs and Roger not scoring amazing and still gained some ranks, which is cool. On the interchange, we've got Brayley, Fogs, Little, and Walker, all great scorers. And I think in terms of my trades this week, I think, as I said, it'll be smart just to hold still, I think. Folks, if he plays great, we can keep him in there. If he doesn't, then I think we'll just play Alvaro. I think his 26 was a bit of an outlier. Of course, I played him last week when he got 26 and didn't play him this week for 41. And I think it was a good decision to keep him on the bench. Walker did well. Little, I was never going to play him over Little. Fogg's obviously a 60-point average kind of player, and Brayley. So, yeah, happy with that. And I wouldn't have done anything different with this bench. But yeah, I think Alvaro I can just straight swap into Fogarty's position and hold still for the week. I think that's probably the smartest thing. If I want to push for overall honours and get in and finish in that top 1,000, then I think banking some of these trades over this next week or two, especially if I can bank 2 now and maybe a couple the week after, or do 1 a week for the next bunch of weeks, I think that'll be really helpful. But 36k remaining. There's not really many trades that have come up this week. We'll obviously find out once team lists come out if there'll be many trades to come through, but we'll go from there. And we'll move on to our alternates team now and see how they went for the week. And so we've ended up with an overall rank of 2639, which actually made us go backwards last week after ending the week last week, having a really good one sitting in the 1,800 range. And this is partly to do with the fact that we don't have Nathan Cleary in the team. And this was the risk that you run at the start of the season for doing this type of team and going against the grain with those types of players. And some weeks it's going to work well. That next week Cleary might get 55 as captain, and I really make some ground on those types of coaches. But to be sitting at 2639 without Cleary, I think is a really good start to the season. And I have banked 2 trades so far in this team with 10k salary remaining. So we'll jump into round 4 and have a look at what we got. And 1,030, my really annoying one was Jordan Rapana. Did anyone see his points drop by 11? He had 53 and they dropped him down to 42, which was a little bit frustrating. I saw that my rank was closer to 2,000 and losing those 11 points really pushed me back. But anyway, we're starting up top. I decided to captain McCulloch and go with the safety option. I've got a bunch of guys I think that can average in the mid 60s with Fafita, Crichton, and McCulloch, and I just decided I think McCulloch's going to be your safest one out of those. He's just getting his points from his tackles, so we'll take the 63. It's obviously not the 94 that Cleary got, and we had Pap there who got 124, but it's a nice solid number. Then you're not really going to get burnt with someone like McCulloch as captain. So there we go. That's that one there. And we got Watson, Twal, and Crichton, and really got burnt by Twal. Like there's the Rapana loss of points, and then we'll see on the bench in a second I stuffed up. But Twal only get 31 minutes in that game yesterday was really frustrating. When there's his points per minute after getting 70 minutes last week, you're like, yep, he's on track for another 60 to 70, and to lose 30 odd points there was annoying. And hopefully that's it was just a one game thing, and they wanted some more attack or something like that. But we'll have to wait and see. And hopefully he goes back to some really good scores going forward, because I think a bunch of people would have brought him in this week, unfortunately. Crichton's in there. We got Fafita and Ricky as our normal edges. Brooks with 55. So a lot of people are stressed about Brooks and his scoring, and I don't know why he's averaging just over 50. I think you've just got to hold him and keep him until something happens, until he starts to go bad. Yes, his kick meters are slightly down, but he's someone that runs the ball a bit more than other halves and is doing well that way. So you kind of got to keep him there. I say he's about 450k less than Cleary, and it's very hard to trade up to him, for example. But yeah, I think we just leave him at this stage. Schuster's in there at 39. Really happy with the centre pairing in Rapana and Momirovski. They're helping us out a fair bit. And then Teddy, Pap, and Laurie. So another good scoring back 3. I did stuff up this week, and this is a good lesson to learn. If you have a couple of teams, obviously got the 3 with the people's team too, is that I had Averillo in there to have him as a loop. What I should have done was just have Walker sitting in there, and if I really like Lenu's score, then I could switch him. That I can switch Averillo in there, but I had Averillo in there just to see, to show what it looked like, and then just completely forgot, given the fact that Averillo's team played second game of the round. So left him there, and unfortunately ended up with Lenu's 27, and my internal hope was like, please Walker get 25 so I don't get killed. But so I missed out on 17 points there as well. So low score from Twal, 17 points from a terrible loop option or a stuff up puts me in this position now. So my fault. We'll push on from that and hopefully be able to have a good week. But in terms of trades for this coming week, I don't think there's really much to think about there. Obviously, Linu is someone who's starting to slow down his money-making potential. But other than that, you got Averillo and stuff that you could trade, but who would I trade to? You know what I mean? Like there's no real clear cut options at the moment, and if your team's performing well, then you may as well just hold it steady. Like I don't, there's no point trading for no reason. So with 30 trades available, I think this is really cool. 30 trades available. Team value is 11.62. So doing okay with that. Obviously lost some money with Twile there. But the rest of the guys, all in the green, except, Teddy losing 20 this week, of course. For like that, it hits 60 and you lose 20k. You're doing all right. You're a high scoring player, that's for sure. But yeah, everyone's in the green, so happy with that. And I've got enough money makers. Obviously, don't have Alvaro or something like that, or O'Sullivan. These are a couple of guys that you could bring in, but when O'Sullivan is, what is he, 400 now or close to it? 384. So yeah, made 40k this week, and if he keeps scoring in just under 50, then he's going to make some good cash. But I feel like just under 400k is a little bit much for me now. You had to probably bring him in last week, and we've all got enough halves in our team currently. But there you go, guys. That's my team. That's the alternates. I hope you're enjoying me rolling through those teams and sussing out some of the trades I might make, or if I'm going to hold trades. And you're always going to be thinking about the buy rounds and wanting to really maximize that as you're coming into that period. So if you're enjoying this, please hit like, hit subscribe. I really appreciate all your support, and we'll see you in the next bunch of videos where I help you guys with your trades. See ya.